Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about a beautiful native to Texas perennial flowering shrub that is not only gorgeous and easy to grow, but also edible. So if you are looking for something like that, stick around. My name's Cassie Viela. You know I'm a realtor and property manager, but I'm also a homesteader here in the San Antonio, Texas area. On my channel, we talk about all things real estate, home, and garden. So if that's your cup of tea, then like, follow, subscribe, whatever. And now let's get on with the show. I apologize in advance for my very, very noisy duck and rooster. I've asked them to be quiet, but just like my kids, they don't listen. So anyway, we're going to get on with the show. The plant that I'm talking about is Turks Cap. Now, I don't know if you can see it behind me. I'll zoom in on it in a minute. But Turks Cap is a beautiful plant. So it has red flowers that look like this, like a Turks cap. Right? So these flowers, one of the things I love about them, there's a fly on this one, is that they are completely edible. They kind of have a melony flavor, if that makes sense. Very, very light flavor. I absolutely love these flowers. I eat them all the time while I'm out here in the garden. Not only are they really good to eat raw, but you can also make a delicious tea out of them. So if you want to make this tea, what I've done, and I just kind of made it up because all I could find online was that you could make a tea, but I didn't find instructions. So what I did was I just harvested a bunch of the flowers, threw them in a pot of boiling water, kind of let it soak for a while, strained them out, added some honey, and then I chilled it actually, and said that it was kind of like it's kind of like Jamaica. If you've ever had the agua fresca Jamaica, it's kind of like that, which makes sense because the Turks Cap plant is actually in the same botanical family as hibiscus, which I just actually learned when I wanted to look up the official name. Malvaviscus arboreus, and this variant is Drummondi, because it was named after a botanist named Drummond. Okay, so some people call it actually Drummond's Turks Cap. Some other people call it wax mallow, Texas mallow, Mexican apple, sleeping hibiscus. There you go. And then manzanita or manzanilla. Manzana is apple in Spanish, so manzanilla or manzanita is little apple. And that's exactly what the fruit looks like on this plant. The flowers are edible. They make a delicious tea. I definitely highly recommend that you try that. The leaves are also edible. Now, I'm not going to pop this in my mouth right now because the leaves are a little bit sandpapery. So the texture is not very pleasant. I could put these in a salad, like I could take it, but like most people probably would not enjoy the texture of these flowers. So, of these leaves. So I would probably like cook these like cooked greens. But they definitely are edible. And I'm told that when they're smaller, when the plant's younger, they are, of course, more tender, just like with every leaf you could possibly eat. So that's flowers, leaves. The third part that's edible is the fruit that it produces. So most of the Turks Caps in my yard, I have a lot of animals back here. I have a ton of squirrels, lots of, I've seen raccoons, I've seen possums, we have a couple of foxes that run through every now and then. So most of the fruits, they'll be on the plant while they're still green like this. But before or maybe as soon as they turn red, those little animals get them before I have. So here is one example of a red one, but it's kind of old, shriveled up. Somehow this one didn't get eaten. But this is kind of what they look like. Kind of the size of, even smaller than a marble. So they're not, it's not an apple. You're not going to go out there and like have this all by itself and be satisfied. But what I see online is that a lot of people make them into a jam. I guess you could use them similarly to crab apples. So I have not tried anything with these yet, like I said, because these animals get them before I do, even though I have a yard that is covered with Turks Cap. So these animals are crazy. The other things I like about Turks Cap, as you can tell, my yard is very, very shaded. I have trees throughout my entire yard, and the Turks Cap grows wild here. It's okay with shade and part shade, which is really nice because, it's hard to find a really pretty flowering plant that really likes the shade, but Turks Cap is one of those. But I also see it in plenty of locations around town in full sun. Because it's a native plant, it can definitely take the heat. Like, it's not going to shrivel up and die on you, a lot of other beautiful flowering shrubs will. So beautiful, hardy, native to Texas. I'm talking about the critters eating the fruits as a bad thing, but if you don't want the fruits, but you want the critters, then maybe you put this in your yard to get to give those wild animals that need the food. So it's definitely something to put in your yard if you want to see more squirrels and more raccoons or whatever. It is somewhat deer resistant, according to wildflower.org. Perennial shrub. It can grow anywhere from 2 feet tall to 9 feet tall. I have definitely seen some really huge plants of this. In my yard, where it's, again, really, really shaded, they tend to grow to about 3 feet tall and stop. I don't have any like towering huge ones, but like at my church, there is one that's taller than me. So it kind of just depends on how much light they have, I think. They are, oh my God, just got attacked by a bee. That totally made me lose my whole train of thought. I was gonna say I'm thinking they grow from seed pretty easily because I have them just totally interspersed throughout my yard, and I'm guessing that the animals eat these berries and then poop them out, and that's where they are all over my yard. I think that I've covered pretty much all of the benefits of Turks Cap. Again, beautiful, hardy, edible. What else could you want from a plant? That's literally every box being ticked by this one beautiful plant. So throw some Turks Cap in your yard if you're in Texas. I'm assuming since it's native to Texas, it doesn't like the cold. Just, most of our plants don't. But if you're in a hot climate, throw some Turks Cap and you'll have not only some delicious food, but a beautiful, beautiful shrub. Alrighty, if you want me to talk about any other plants or you have any questions, then definitely let me know in the comments. Otherwise, like, follow, share, whatever, and I'll see you next time.